Mara slowed the car as she crossed the iron grate and parked in front of the cottage. The slanted roof of the low building was covered with shake shingles. The exterior siding was stained cedar, and the windows and doors were trimmed with a burnt shade of rust. The cottage blended in appearance with its woodsy setting. Balancing a bag of groceries on her hip, Mara unlocked the front door and walked into the living room, dominated by a large, native stone fireplace. The sparse furnishings didn't do any justice to the potential of the room. To the left was the kitchen and Mara's destination. All the birch cabinets had been stripped and restained, and the countertops resurfaced. A small table and chairs occupied the breakfast nook, and shiny copper pots hung above the stove. The atmosphere was distinctly warm and homey. Mara set the one bag down and went back to the car for the others. The third and last room of the cottage was the bedroom with a full bath off it. Mara didn't classify the small utility room as a room, since it was little more than a large closet. Despite possessing only 3 rooms, the cottage gave the impression of spaciousness. But Mara didn't have time to admire its efficient design. All the supplies and food had to be put away. The last bag was half emptied when Mara thought she heard the sound of a car out front. She paused to listen and heard the slam of a car door. Leaving the can of coffee sitting on the counter, she made a detour on the way to the front door, stopping to glance out the kitchen window for an advance look at the cottage's new occupant. She had a brief glimpse of a tall, gray-haired gentleman approaching the front door before he disappeared out of her angle of sight. Reassured somehow by the sight of the gray hair, Mara had barely straightened from the window when there came a loud knock at the door. Unconsciously, she squared her shoulders and lifted her chin to a lofty angle. The unfamiliar aloofness settled over her as she went to answer the knock. When she was opening the door, her mouth automatically curved into a detached smile of greeting. Her gaze first encountered the towering bulk of the man outside, then met a pair of smoky blue eyes. Her expression froze in place. Tiny shockwaves dissembled her previous image of the man and threw it away. This was not some old, distinguished gentleman facing her. This was a rawly, virile man, suntanned and vigorous. The civilized impression given by the tweed jacket and dark trousers was banished by the unbuttoned shirt and the hard, browned flesh it revealed. The fact that his thick mane of hair happened to be iron gray was purely incidental. All the while she was staring at him, he was studying her in an odd way, as if she wasn't what he had expected to see either. Maybe there was some kind of mistake. Mara clutched at that straw. "Mr. Buchanan?" she questioned. "Yes,"